We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners for Tuesday, May 5th. Good morning, everyone. My name is Langdon Neal. I'm chairman of the board, and seated to my left is Commissioner Marisol Hernandez. First item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda itself. Any additions, deletions? Hearing none, we'll move in the order provided. Item number 3, approval of the minutes for our last meeting, which was April 7th of 2015.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez. I'll second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order. Executive Director's report. Mr. Goff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to let the board members know that we are still working on trying to finish the budget for this year's, or for this special, not special, for the April election. So it's going to be a little while before I'll be able to give the board members actually what this election cost us. In fact, we haven't even been able to get the judges' check, haven't all been completely sent out yet, have they? But not all of them. We have a lot. The city came up with a new payroll, so there's problems with checks, so we're working on that.
Yeah, I saw there were a couple checks that we issued right out of the...
Yes, so we're having some problems, so just to let you know.
Okay.
But basically, that's it. Everything else seems to be going well, and we're just getting it, just trying to clean up this election.
Okay, all righty. And we still have the, are we finished with the recount procedures?
No, we have not.
Okay. You want to give us an update on that, Mr. Scan?
Sure. Yes.
Wait to the...
Well, I can address it now.
Okay, great.
As long as we're on the subject. Yesterday, we began the recount of 9 precincts in the 9th, I'm sorry, strike that, in the 10th ward. That represents 25% of the precincts in that ward. And that was done pursuant to a discovery recount petition filed by John Pope, candidate for alderman in the 10th ward. So yesterday, with the assistance of Kelly and board warehouse staff, and the cooperation of both candidates, we were able to go through all the ballots yesterday. All the in-precinct ballots, the absentee ballots, provisional ballots, and we went through the touchscreen ballots that were requested by the petitioner. So I think we've completed all of the ballot retabulation, recounts, and reviews, and we are finished at the warehouse. Tomorrow, the parties are going to come back, and we're going to make all the ballot applications available for their inspection tomorrow morning at 9:30 here at the board. And it'll be downstairs in the 6th floor in the public viewing area. Both sides are going to provide watchers for 2 stations, and we'll go through all of the election day applications, provisional ballot affidavits. We can make the absentee applications available as well, although at this point there's been no specific request for absentees. So I think that we'll be able to finish this up on Wednesday. That's where we are right now.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay. Anything else for Mr. Goff? Ms. Bateman, we know what you've been doing now, but anything else for us?
Just again, cleaning up. Registration is continuing with their year-long project of adding registrations. They are also scanning the voting history from April, the applications for ballot. Warehouse did a great job yesterday with assistance of Mr. Scanlon, Joan, Trish, some staff from Community Services to be able to finish the processing of the ballots for the 9 precincts. So everyone's just kind of getting over the election and cleaning up and gearing up for the next one.
Okay. Any other questions? All righty. We will. Mr. Allen is not here today, so we will skip over his report. But I think he's been supporting everyone else in the efforts to this date. All right. Mr. Goff, do you have any new infrastructure projects and changes in election administration you'd like to talk about today?
Mr. Chairman, I think we may have to look at that.
Yeah.
We do have we have a language bill that's up. Am I correct, Mr. Scanlon?
Yes.
And there may be a problem with our voting equipment. May not be able to handle these extra languages. It's something we may have to look at right away. In fact, Mr. Kramer's in from Dominion that I've been discussing this, and this may be a problem, so.
You mean adding additional language capability to our touchscreen ballots?
Right, there's a
Yep.
bill, House Bill 1452, which would, among other things, require jurisdictions that meet a certain threshold to provide ballots in additional languages. And it could require Chicago and Cook County to add Polish as an additional language. And at this point, it looks like suburban Cook County would be required to add Korean, although that may not be an immediate requirement for the city of Chicago. I think certainly we have to anticipate that might be something that down the road the board would have to do. But I think the question was put to Dominion to whether or not the existing equipment could accommodate ballots in those additional languages, in Polish and in Korean. And I think that we're still waiting for a response to that question.
Okay. So that would add essentially, we'd have 6 languages, and it would be, with our 3 now, actually 4 now, right? So we'd have 2 more.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Electronic poll books.
We still need to meet with ES&S and have a debriefing on that. Ms.
Okay.
Bateman's going to be setting that up.
Okay.
We still have not done any more financial
Right,
transactions until we figure out where we're at. So,
right. And then we'll have to figure out where we're going to be in
Yes,
2016.
and that's what we really have to look for, where 2016 is
Okay.
the issue.
All right, voting equipment, I think you probably touched that issue. Anything else there?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Any other legislation that you want to address, Mr. Stevens?
There are 1 or 2 bills I think that the board needs to look at, and I will forward some additional information and memorandum regarding that to the commissioners, hopefully later today, if not later today, then tomorrow.
Okay. All righty. All right, we have several contracts to consider. The first, you want to go through these, or do you want me to? Go ahead.
I'll go through them,
Okay,
if you don't mind, Mr.
yes.
Chairman. Okay. First of all, we have a proposal to renew the 2014 support and a maintenance agreement with Dominion Voting Systems, Inc., for our existing voting equipment. There is a provision in Section 2.02 of that 2014 support and maintenance agreement that gives the board the option to exercise a renewal for an additional 12-month period. And it's recommended to the board at this point in time that they do renew that agreement for an additional 12-month period, retroactive to January 1 of 2015 and expiring on December 31, 2015. And this would be under the same terms and conditions as the 2014 support and maintenance agreement.
Okay,
A motion to approve.
I'll second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Continue, Mr. Scanlon.
The next item is a proposed contract for Shobna Verma. Shobna has been serving as a consultant to the board for purposes of assisting the board in meeting its obligations under Section 203 of the Voting Rights Act with regard to language assistance. And she's been the board's liaison to the Asian Indian community. And her existing contract is coming to an end at the end of this month, and it's recommended that the board enter into a new contract with Ms. Verma for a period beginning June 1, 2015 through May 31st, 2016, at an hourly rate of $35 an hour, not to exceed $70,000 over the term of the contract.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez. I'll second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order.
Next, we have a proposed contract with Sarita Villarreal. Sarita has been serving as a consultant to the board with regard to the board's duties and obligations under Section 203 of the Voting Rights Act, with regard to language assistance to the Spanish-speaking community. And I know she has been assisting Bill Perez this past several elections, and working as a consultant to the board and a representative of the board to the Hispanic media. The contract would commence on July 1 of 2015 and expire June 30th of 2016, and compensation at a rate of $22 per hour, not to exceed $50,000 over the term of the contract.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez. I'll second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order.
Next, we have a proposed contract with Guillermo Perez. And Bill has long served as the board's liaison to the Hispanic community and offering assistance to the Spanish-speaking community in Chicago. Bill has served effectively as the board's liaison to the Hispanic community for quite some time. The term of the contract that's being proposed would commence on July 1, 2015 and expire June 30th, 2016 at a rate of $50 per hour, not to exceed $50,000 over the term of the contract.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez. I'll second. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order. Thank you, Bill. It's been wonderful to work with you all these years. You've done just a fabulous job for us in the Spanish-speaking community, so thank you for sticking with us a little bit longer.
Thank you.
Next, we have a proposed contract with Gary Rescission. Gary has served for a number of years as the ballot preparation specialist for the board and has acted as the board's consultant on all issues related to ballot development, layout, design, preparation, printing, distribution, and basically all aspects of ballot development. The proposed contract would be for a term commencing on July 1, 2015 through June 30th, 2016 at a rate of $65 per hour, not to exceed $70,000 over the term of the contract.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez. I'll second. Further discussion? All those in favor? Gary, where's Gary? Gary? What can I say? Thank you for your personal therapy services too over the last year. And really, those were very important to Lance and myself, among the other technical assistants that you give us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure working for you.
It's a pleasure to have.
Next, we have a proposed contract for Dean Fatikas. Dean has in the past acted as a consultant to the board and advised the board and staff with regard to warehouse and storage needs to assist the board in planning and constructing warehouse facilities and related activities. The proposed contract would be for a term commencing on July 1, 2015 through June 30, 2016 at a rate of $65 per hour, not to exceed $25,000 over the term of the contract.
Motion to approve?
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez. I'll second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
That'll be the order.
Thank you. And, Mr. Chairman, that's all the contracts we have on the agenda.
All righty. Legal status report? Anything else for us, Mr. Scanlon?
Well, I've reported to you on the status of the discovery recount. Just as a reminder, we still have two election contest petitions with respect to the 10th Ward runoff election from April 7th. Those are still pending in the Circuit Court of Cook County. We also have two pending election contest petitions from the February 24th election, in the 1st and the 25th wards. There's a motion to dismiss in both those cases. That motion is currently being briefed, and we have a hearing in court on those motions on May 22nd. So we should have some decision on the motions to dismiss in those cases.
I'm sorry, who was the second election petition for the runoff election?
This is in the 1st ward
In the first ward?
and in the 25th ward.
No, I mean in the runoff.
Oh, the runoff.
Fifth ward
that-
and-
Well, both sides filed
Oh,
in the
okay,
10th
it's
ward.
the same, yeah,
Right.
same contest, right.
Same contest,
Right.
both candidates filed, because at the time,
Right.
we didn't know what the final results of the
Result.
election would be, right? So,
Those are
and
consolidated, though, for all practical purposes?
I suspect that one of those, at least one of those, will probably be voluntarily dismissed.
Okay.
And last but not least, the decision of the U.S. District Court in the case of Rose versus Board of Election Commissioners for the City of Chicago has been appealed to the Seventh Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. And I believe the appellant's brief is due on June 9th. And we'll prepare a brief and file it on behalf of the board in that matter.
Okay.
That's all I have to report, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Scanlon.